Welcome to your daily dose of hope. I'm Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about letting go of always and never. Not much in life is consistent, I know that, but sometimes I think our desire to have calm, predictable days and weeks kind of leads us to a place where we're fighting against the always things that don't show up, or we don't want to acknowledge the never things that do. In a world where things are uncertain, it's natural, I think, to want to cling to absolutes like this always happens or that never works out. Beliefs like this kind of give us the illusion of control, but usually leave us feeling frustrated when the opposite of what we expect, sure enough, begins to happen. Hope is different in that way because it doesn't demand guarantees or perfect patterns. Instead, it lives in the space between the absolutes, right? Finding possibility where certainty fails. When we embrace hope, we can let go the always and never stuff, right? We can understand that today's failure doesn't predict tomorrow's outcome any more than today's victory means victory forever. Hope tells us that things change, patterns break, and exceptions exist. And this isn't blind optimism either. It's just an acknowledgement that life is complicated and absolute rules just don't apply. The friend who always cancels might surprise you, and the promotion that never seems to come could be just around the corner. And you have tons of examples in your own life where you can look back and see when something that never happens happened and that always also changed. When we can trade off those kinds of certainties for hopeful possibilities, we can find freedom. We can respond to the unpredictability of our life, not with frustration, but instead with curiosity. We can remain open to the exceptions that break the rules. In the end, hope doesn't eliminate disappointment. We know that for sure. Hope isn't about pretending everything is okay. It just gives us a larger story, right? It helps us understand that things aren't finished unfolding. And in that unfinished space, we can find the courage to keep going. I found a fun quote I wanted to share with you by Wendell Johnson that I thought was really appropriate to end this with. And it goes like this. Always and never are two words you should always remember never to use. Okay, so here's to letting hope fill in when things aren't certain, leaving room for what's definitely possible.